All right, what's up, YouTubers? Welcome to another video of mine. Today, we as homeowners, a lot of us lately have been, at least me, I'm purchasing, all the smart things for the home. Nest thermostats to Google Homes to Alexas to whatever. I mean, there are tons of things out there that are smart. Even the light bulbs, like LED light bulbs, which are Wi-Fi enabled, and so on, and controlled with Wi-Fi as well. Even the garage door openers, for that matter, with Wi-Fi. So anyway, I mean, these days everything is about the smartphone and being able to control your appliances, your electrical fixtures, or even your lightings, your thermometer temperatures at home, make it cool or hot, whatever, depending on what you have. Everything is at your fingertips. As a homeowner, yeah, even if you want to go even one step further, yeah, you can, we have cameras that I installed, and also you have, doorbells and door, locks, and the list goes on. So, smart home being a smart is not about just having these gadgets. This just so happened, I was thinking about it. Then one fine day I come home and I see I hear a beep, sound, alarm sound actually, in my basement. I ran into the basement and see a puddle of water. So that was kind of a scary thing for any homeowners, for that matter, because if your basement is finished and your boiler or any water that leaks into the basement kind of gets you, because it's going to be costly, expensive to fix and to replace things. So not just in the basement, this happened to me in the basement just recently, because my we have a well water, and we also have a softener. The softener broke, and the water was flooding into the basement, and I come home and that was a shock. So we had to fix it. So anyway, all that. So here, we thought, not just that, and thinking about it. If you think about it, even the bathrooms, toilets, your refrigerator, ice maker, and your dishwasher, anything can break at no, notice. So of course, there are certain alarms that you can purchase. They are like a stationary, like local. You can place it inside, closer to the appliance or the water, um, feature, water, prone region, like a bathrooms, and like toilets and dishwasher and the washing machine, and so on. So what happens is, if the water, there'll be a sensor, and if the sensor senses the water, obviously it's going to trigger an alarm. The only difference is, of course, you get the alarm, could be any time of the night. Of course, you have to run down and fix it. What if you're not home? Then what happens? So nothing you can do. So the water just keeps coming. So this happened to a friend of mine. I heard some horror stories. I'm sure you might have heard too. That's the reason why you're looking for a gadget, which is the whole house water, kind of a sensor that keeps the track of water. And this is one of the gadget I bought, as you can see in front of the camera here. We'll just talk about it in a minute. So that is one kind of a water sensor or alarm, like a stationary or a local inside. You can purchase and keep it, and you got to upkeep with the batteries and stuff. So that is one option. The other option is, yeah, you can have a motorized ball valve that can be connected to your main supply line, the water line, wherever that is, from the outside in the basement or in the garage, and depends on your house. So you can connect that, and what happens is, from there you run the sensors through through the ductwork, and not really ductwork, I'm sorry, it could be through your walls, through your roofs and insulations and what have you. So you run through it from basement through the first floor to the second floor to your dishwasher, or the refrigerator, behind the refrigerator, or even the dishwasher, and under the sink and the bathrooms. Think about it. I mean, you have bathrooms upstairs, so you have to run the cable for the sensors to run all the way, 50 or 100 feet away from where the motor valve is. So then you have to run the wire and the sensor, and it's become a bit of a pain. So I just gave up on that option. So I said, okay, what's the other option? So I've been looking around, and I bumped across a few things with all the smartness we have with the home technology and whatnot. So there is this water cop. I'm sure you guys have must heard of it. And there is this one I just bumped into, Flow. I mean, this was kind of interesting because it just came up in this CES this year, Consumer Electronics Show in 2018, and they just came up with a new device, which is basically no other sensors. It's just one motorized valve which you can connect to Wi-Fi, and that's it. There you go. You connect it to the main line of your water supply in the basement or wherever that is, in the garage, whatever, and that's it. You have an application, and you run the application like you would do on your cameras, like Nest or whatever cameras you have. So you could constantly monitor the water flow. And good feature of this is, I learned, so what it does is it gives you the water pressure, like what is the intake and what is the outflow, and also it monitors the water real time. So it just sends you an alarm or an email depending on what you choose. It comes to your smartphone, and you can there control right there. You don't even need to be home. Let's just say if you're traveling and something broke in the house, let's just say a faucet or something out of the sink. So the device that you're looking here will sense that excess flow of water than that is normal, and it will send you an alarm or an alert to your cell phone, and wherever you are, you immediately can look into it, open up the app and see what's going on, and you can shut off the valve right away. Or if you don't do it, I think it's going to automatically shut off by itself. So what it does is it turns off the water from the main supply, so it will stop the further damage. So imagine, I've heard horror stories. Like a friend of mine, he was saying, so his neighbor actually went out to for the weekend, someplace away, like away from home. And it was at the weekend. He went away Friday with family, and he came back Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening rather. So just after he left on Saturday morning or whatever time, the neighbors heard a kind of a sound, or like a cracking or a squeaking sound, or whatever you want to call, from the next door. So what happens then? Because this guy, the homeowner, is not home, they knew they went away for the weekend, and they kind of texted him and called them, but he couldn't come back on time. So the water kept on running into the house, but nobody knew what was happening. Because everything was closed. Obviously, when you go, you close your blinds and windows and whatnot, and you think everything will be fine when you come back. So this guy happened to go, and finally he comes back home Sunday evening. It's been almost more than 24 hours now. The water has been leaking, and nobody knows what's going on inside. So he comes to the garage, he opens the door, and guess what? The water just gushes him out, and like a tsunami. So it was kind of a shocking and kind of a disaster, and it's unfortunate. It's no joke. So you hear such stories, and it's kind of a signal for you guys, and for myself at least. That is why I'm doing this video, to help others. So I don't want to be in that shoes. That's the reason I went ahead and bought something like this. It cost me like $495. It's not bad. Because it's just one system you install into the main line. So like I said, what it does is, cases like that, he would have gotten an alarm or alert message on his phone. He could have shut off the water usage right away, so stopping further damage. So things like that could happen if he comes back home and he sees his damage, and that's going to cost a fortune. I mean, to fix everything, because think about fixing sheetrocks, your walls, and that and this, everything adds up. and also a nuisance, because you have to stay away from home, stay in a hotel, or in neighbors, or in-laws or parents if they're close by. A lot of things, could happen. So to avoid all those, I said, okay, let's buy this, and hopefully this will help me. The